watch for a good still as he does this. That's a lost art.
Yeah, my grandfather could do that. He could do it with...
I was thinking of a real still, not motion picture still.
You don't care.
I like that angle.
The angle that he's at.
Yeah.
Y'all ready?
Yeah.
Should I get in front of you? The nerve or the courage to join that union with all of that.
Well, I never did join no union. I was just with them. I bet 2/3 of the people that was in that strike didn't belong to the union. They was up for the rights to get a better job or get a job and such as that. See, I never did join no union.
They never did get a union in Hogansville, as far as we know now.
A lot of the other people that did belong to the union come to Hopeless, but I don't know of nine here that joined the union. They could have. Didn't do no good because they lost their jobs they did. A job was a job then. It was a living.
But what gave you the courage to strike?
Just got together and said, we might as well just get on out because we ain't making nothing.
I think maybe that they talked like that everything would be real good after the union came in. And that gave them the courage to strike. That everything would be a lot better than it had been. I would believe that was the reason. And then they was not making anything and had to work so hard. And the people that said they could get out and go to the store, I don't remember ever going out of the mill and going to the store.
Oh, they had a dope wagon coming around down in there.
And that was
nickel drinks and nickel pies and everything.
And the one that was talking about Eastern Union going to, I don't remember that now. They could have, maybe one of them going out and getting all of it, but...
Shoot, I remember when you get 3 packs of cigarettes for $1. Now they're $1.50 a pack. Or the menu pack for 3 for $1. 10 cents a pack, 3 for $1. Prince Albert same way. Dime a can of 3 for $1. Nickel book of leaves and big books. And yeah, I expected some of them was over $1. Sure.
So, are you trying to say that it was much harder than a lot of people are saying that it was?
I could not remember any of them going to the, stopping off the work and going to the store. Now, they might have, but I could not remember it. And
now, a lot of times when them dope wagons, what they call it, dope wagons,
I was talking
come through, they'll set the job off while they get a little bite to eat. They stop the train off, see, and go get something to eat. And a lot of them didn't have to stop them off because they'd be close enough to watch them. Because them frames, if one end tore down on them twister frames, you get to whoop it around and tear a whole side down if you didn't stop it off.
When they went on 8 hours, were you still able to have a lunch? How was the work then?
They still run the dope wagons and things. You can take your lunch or you can buy off the dope wagon now.
I'm asking because some people have said that the work was speeded up, so that they had so much work to do that they didn't have time to eat lunch. They had to eat standing up.
Well, you would because
they did speed the things up a whole lot. When it went on 8 hours, they speeded the frames up. And they run worse too. The faster they run, the more ends to come down. But every once in a while they'll change a pulley and make it go much faster, see. Big pulley here and a little pulley here. And you put this on a big pulley and this little pulley pulling the frame, they go fly. You put a little pulley over here and a big pulley here, it goes slow. You know what I'm talking about.
they didn't slow them down.
No, Never slowed them down no more. They was running good before that, before they went on 3 shifts, 8-hour shifts. Then it started running worse and worse and worse, getting faster and faster and faster. You go in there sometimes and your frame be running a lot faster than what when you went out. Just put the pulleys on and change it and start them up and you things fly.
You think the Beto man had anything to do with that?
I think that's all it had all to do with it. You got to go around and check you and write it down, write it down. You remember Beto man standing around and check everybody. About a week from then your frames would be speeded up.
You had to do so much work to get by. You couldn't go in and say,
And if you didn't get production, the first thing you know, you'd be laid off.
yeah.
They got the clocks on that, say how much you run, you see. It's like this clock right here, but it's a little different clock, tell you exactly how much is run.
Now, I was talking to a guy up in Canopolis. He said when they put those clocks in there that some of the fellas learned how to jimmy those clocks and cheat on them.
Shoot, I learned that too.
Tell us about that.
Well, they run in a wheel, it's like a fan belt pulling a car, but they run in grooves, you see. And a little screw pushes that wheel up there and it turns it just like a speedometer. So all you have to do is just loosen that screw and drop it down, take your finger and whirl it, whirl it, whirl it, whirl it, and put it back up. You done got maybe 2 hours more on it. Then you could take your time.
But if they found out you was doing it,
gone.
you didn't have no time.
Yeah, a little mini one up.
Elsie, how'd you lose your finger?
I had it cut off.
No.
Oh, I did.
Tell them why you had it cut off.
I had it cut off. It wasn't even sore.
Mhm.
You don't believe it, do you? Well, I got burnt bad when I was about 12 years old. They caught with gasoline on me. I got caught afar. That scars. It was up to here, and my chest, and on my back, on my legs. I like to die.
Show me
And there it is. Now I heard it here a while back. All that scars, see. When it happened, it ends there now. When it happened, it was up here. See, as I grew, the scar grew down. So this finger here, this knuckle was laying right here, and this part here was sticking straight up, like that. Right there is the back of my knuckle. Sometimes it itches, and I just scratch it right there and it'll quit. My finger will itch. And there's the nerve right there. And that's the back of that little finger right there. It was right there. So I couldn't even get my hand in my pocket, so I try to get a job or something or another. And didn't like it because that finger was in the way, see. And so Papa and them lived in Atlanta up there, and my brother lived in Atlanta. Papa was dead. And I went up there to Grady Hospital, and I saw all my fingers cut off. And if you lived in the county, it didn't cost you nothing. They said, we'll just straighten it out for you, but it'll be stiff. I said, no, I just want it cut off. So they cut it off.
Did you come from the country, or your family come from the country?
Yes, sir, up in Walden County.
Tell us about that.
And when we moved to Fulton Bag Cotton Mill, Papa got him a job, the Fulton Bag Cotton Mill. And at that time, there wasn't no paved roads up there, wasn't no cars up there. And we moved in a 2-horse wagon and kept our wagon and mules in the backyard for years or more. And people, coal wagons. There wasn't no cars at that time when we moved up there. And the first one I was saw, one of these great big old trucks with a big old chain drive on the side. You remember them? We were going to school one day and one of them things come by and all the kids just watched that. They just were about that fast. And every one of us were late to school. That's the first car I ever seen, the first truck I ever seen.
Did you miss the country?
Well, I was too little to know much about it, but I remember being in the country.
So you lived in Cabbagetown?
Over at Fulton Bag. You know where that big old cemetery is? I lived right at the Fulton Bag, on that side, right there close to the mill, on that most tall house. We lived in one of them. Now, at that time, they done changed all that in there now. And all that road is different and everything.
after we married, we went up there when I had never been to Atlanta. I had never been any place. We got on the streetcar. And I said, well, how's he going to know when to let us off? And he says, go up there and tell him you want off at Golden Medley's house. And I know that wouldn't do because he didn't know Golden Medley from nobody else. I said, I'm not going to do it.
I said, go on, he'll stop at Golden Medley's house if you tell him. Well, I know what to do, but she didn't. I was pulling her leg.
I told you raised me.
How'd you get there?
Up there?
He drove up there and went. He had a car when we and him married.
And she was just riding streetcars.
But I had never rode one, and I'm that way by Marta now. Some of these times I'm going up there and ride Marta.
It's nice.
LT, what was it like on the when you went out on those trucks? Can you describe where you went?
What truck?
Back during that strike, when you went out.
Oh, you know, we just had ball bats and sticks and orange pops and everything else, riding and beating on the side of it, and trying to get people to help join, help on the strike. So I don't know.
Was it fun?
At that time, we was trying to get a better living. I don't imagine it was no fun, but everybody had to help.
They thought it was.
Everybody had to help. And the ones that wouldn't fool, we call them scabs. Sure did. The old scab, you ain't got no sense no and gone. But as far as I know, there wasn't no fights among them. There wasn't any bunch I was with.
Were there all men on your truck?
Only one we was on, yeah. But after then, they got mixed up, men and women on. Women trying to help much as the men were. That's why that bunch was in that stockade up yonder. A bunch of women was with them.
But they had them separated.
Oh, yeah, up there. But they wasn't separated when they caught them down here.
Did you know any of the girls who got caught?
At that time, it was about practically all of them.
Could you talk about some of them?
And so long that I forgot it. Don't really know.
There was the Horton girls.
There was a lot of them on there. I know all of them in, but I don't know.
Most of them has passed away. No, most all of the ones on that picture has.
There ain't very many living that was in that bunch in that strike.
From 1934 till 91, how many years is that without a pencil? 34? Yeah, he can tell you.
60 years ago.
57? Yeah. So your memory fades when you get...
How long have you been married, Leah?
I told you 57 years.
Well, just 57 years ago, we just had married.
Yeah.
Now, could you tell us a little bit about did your brother come back and tell you about Fort McPherson?
No, he didn't tell me nothing. They didn't talk about it when he got back.
If they did, we just can't remember anything about it. Now, Eddie Mayback can tell you, but we were not associated with it that much.
And I wasn't up there either.
So you didn't go out that morning?
Yeah, but I was on that truck. I wasn't with the bunch. They got them down at the mill. They didn't go out nowhere else and get nobody. They just got the bunch that was there. And I wasn't at the bunch. At the time, we were riding around. That's why didn't get in it. We might have been in the Grange. We might have been in Union. We might have been out in the country or somewhere. See, at the time they come in and got them. That truck wasn't there with us on it. Because if we'd have been there, we'd have been there. I mean, if we hadn't been on that truck riding around trying to get people to help us, we'd have been down there with a bunch of us already there. So that's why I missed it. Oh, so I know.
What kind of reaction did you get from mill people? You know, when you would come into towns and into those mills, what kind of reaction?
Oh, a lot of them would holler on the way, and a lot of them say, "Give me some room and I'll get on that way." And most of them were with it. And it started, well, that, we had done it a lot of times before then. And a lot of people would come on in, see. At that time, them we all around fooling with, wasn't with them because had it have been down there. We were trying to get more people to come in.
See, they had not organized a union at that time. They were just trying to organize.
And we were out telling people, "Come on, help us. Come on, help us." And that's why I wasn't with a bunch. I was out just riding around saying, "Come on down to the mill. It's having a strike down there. Come on down and help us." A lot of them did. But see, we was on that truck when they come and got them, so we missed getting on that truck going to Atlanta.
What did the local police, the sheriff, do?
They didn't bother us. Didn't bother us. They didn't bother them when they got them, as far as I know.
Did you see any of the troops?
No, I didn't. They had gun gone when we got back in. All the people, too. It was down there.
So the troops never came back to Hogarthville?
Not after the end I know of. All they come down there and got them and loaded them up and took them to Atlanta. I didn't see none of them.
Did your truck ever go to LaGrange?
As far as I know, we didn't go in LaGrange. We did most right around Hoganville here.
What are the other mills?
Down in LaGrange?
No, the other mills you went to.
Wasn't no, but there's these two here. There's the people around the people's houses, you know. Like they come over here and say, "Hey, come on, go with us, having a strike down yonder." See, they didn't even know it was on the strike. Didn't know it till it happened. That's about the, what, about 2 days of it, was it, Snooker?
I don't think so.
I think
Of
about
course,
two,
they
not over
came
3
back
days.
and tried to organize, but they never did get it where that.
That was the first time they'd ever ganged up down there. It wasn't. Just most of the four of them just talking about it, and having meetings and talking about it. Might have been the first day they ganged up down there. I don't really know. Wasn't over 2 or 3 days before they come in and got them.
Did you ever go to any of those meetings out on the road or in upstairs in the community building?
As far as I know, I did.
The only one that we ever went to was over on the highway. One time, when I don't know what I
think he got
said.
a black with truck and talked, didn't he? Or
Yeah,
something.
he
I don't really
would.
know.
All I know is they just never did get one started here. They tried, but when they'd find out that you was affiliated with it anyway, you lost your job.
Could you tell us about that meeting? How did they start with prayer? Did they have music?
I don't really know.
That right there, they did not have any music, I know, but I don't think that we attended till after it had started. I mean, we was not there when they first started. And
I never did go in there one of them meetings.
he was talking about what all it would do for you and everything.
It was his Homer Welsh.
It was somebody from the outside, because when Homer Welch when they found out that he was a ringleader, he lost his job, and that he did not I don't know whether he left Hogansville right then or not, but eventually he did.
Now, this meeting on the highway, was it at night?
No, it was in the daytime.
Okay. Now, why was it out all the way out on a highway?
That was the only place they could find to meet.
At that time, they had a big ballpark behind the mill. Real big place, played ball down in there. They had room enough down there to meet, see. They didn't stand out there in the road. They're behind the mill. Big place down there, but now the other buildings in there. And after you get that, so they had plenty of room to park the cars and you could get out and talk. You could drive down the road, you wouldn't know they was back there. And when you got all walking out, got together, you got in the cars, the truck. Sometimes there'd be a line of them together on trucks and cars and blowing the horns and hollering and trying to get them to come and help. But there wasn't all down there. When they got them, in that bunch down there behind the mill, when they run in and ground them up, load them up and took them around. And we would off. I don't know if we were the only truck off or not. I'd off and truck. I wasn't down there. They got everybody was down there. Whether they was with them or whether they wasn't, they got them. A lot of them would say, I wasn't there with them. I just listened. Made no difference. Get in that truck. Took them with them.
Were they arrested?
Well, nobody arrested. I know they were up there in the fence and kept them till they took a notice and turned them loose. No, it didn't. There wasn't no trials or no nothing. They had to stop the ride.
Now, the soldiers had guns. What about the strikers?
I imagine some of them had guns. I didn't see any every time. I know most everybody had one had in his pocket, but I just don't know. I lived down there. I know 3 or 4 on the truck I was on had guns, but it wasn't none of my business.
I recall hearing about a trial of Homer Welsh because they said he had a gun. Do you remember any of that?
No,
I
I
couldn't
sure
say.
don't.
I imagine he did. I don't know.
Probably back then I would remember it. Right now I don't.
Could you talk about after the strike when the people went back to work? How did everybody feel? What were the feelings going on?
I don't know. I just went back to work. Yeah. But none forgot it. Went on back to work.
There would be people come in every once in a while talking and trying to get you to join the union, but they still, if they found out you were talking to them, you lost your job.
They didn't go down there to the mill.
No.
They give out little leaflets.
They'd stand at the gate.
And if you wanted to come to one of the meetings, you could come to such and such a place. You know, such as that. They didn't gang up down there no more.
Well, now, we talked with a gentleman the other day who said that he was advised by his boss to join the union and then come tell the boss what it was all about.
Yeah, find out about it.
Mm-hmm.
Could you talk about that?
I don't know nothing about it. I wasn't the man to talk to.
Do you think that was that happened?
Yeah, you know it did. There's pimps everywhere. Yes, sir. There's pimps everywhere.
But if they found out you was affiliated with it anyway, you lost your job.
And at that time, it was so rough. Nobody didn't want to lose a job. So most of the rest of them just kept their mouth shut. Sometimes some of the bosses up there out in the mill come around and talk to you and ask you what you think about it or this and that and the other. I said, I ain't got nothing to do with it. Don't know nothing about it. Trying to pick you.
See, the bosses lived here in Hogansville too, or around here anyway. They knew yet about what was going on.
Some of the bosses was far better help, but they couldn't do nothing.
Mm-mm.
And if the officials ever found out they did, they'd lose their job.
Was there kind of a regular system of pimps in the factory?
They are everywhere. some everywhere. Still is. Even the police force has got pimps. Worse than that it was then. Really? More people and more going on. Worse than that. Shoot, I even sold liquor one time. I had a liquor, you know, had damn pimps telling on me. I've been years, and liquor 90 cents a gallon. I still got some holes up yonder where I used to hide my liquor. I got caught one time. Didn't go to jail though. Sheriff Bailey. Oh, forget it. Give me $100 and forget it. Really didn't get caught. I had some out there and the old car was broke down. They found some in it. Well, I was caught anyway in my car. But it wouldn't run or nothing. But one smart police over here was the one that done it. Trying to get a star in his crown. He finally got killed.
You still got some of that whiskey you want to sell?
I was up that way the other day, and I one of them holes. I used to put in the holes up there. Oh, that's been years ago.
I haven't drunk anything in years that didn't have a label on it.
This year was, you ever hear over the top, over close to Thomaston? Back in the coals? There's a bunch back over in there. One road to go in there, went around the mountain down there and all them. You ever hear them talk about, that's our revenue man they call Hancock? He went over in there and every revenue man to go over in that place never did come back. They put him in the river. Back in them days, you couldn't get no law to go down there. Well, one road to go down there, and they kept that road guarded with shotguns, rifles. The more people live there owned all that land, so you wouldn't get in there. It's bad. I used to go, I used to get my liquor over there.
I wonder on that picture how many of those folks lost their jobs.
Okay.
We have it. It's over there on the table.
Okay. Especially the last.
Okay.
Yeah, we're about to change tapes
Okay,
again.
this will take.
Yeah, okay.
I wonder if you could look at this picture and tell us who on there lost their jobs.
Can't even recognize none of them. I can't.
So
We really
show it
don't
over,
know.
show it to your husband, and then go and name them and see who's lost their
That's-
job.
We really can't say because
Don't know.
we just don't know. And if we back then we might have remembered, but now we just don't. But I recognize lots more of them than I did on the picture that I had.
It's been so long, I don't forgot. I couldn't tell you. I couldn't recognize every one of them.
LT, do you think it would have been different if the union had been able to come through and the strike was successful?
I can't say. In other words, what they done was successful. They'd hope everybody around here.
Yeah.
How's that?
Oh, they went back to work and everybody was doing better and it went on 8 hours a day. It's just a lot better than 12 hours and you know,
Okay.
it just got better. Things got better. But the way it was going, it was rough. Yeah, it got better.